Hey, folks, you're watching Brigitte Gabrielle's News You Can Act On in Real Time. Welcome back, Brigitte.
Thank you, Brent, and welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. We've been hearing a lot about our military failing to meet its recruiting quotas. A nation without a strong military cannot protect itself and becomes a target for bad actors. America has been losing its powerful standing in the world, and nations like Russia, China, and Iran are already challenging America into a fight. But one group is joining our military in unprecedented numbers: the transgender community. I wonder what the military is offering them for free to incite them to join. In the past 5 years alone, the Pentagon has treated 1,892 transgender troops and spent $15 million doing so, with $11.5 million going to psychotherapy and $3.1 million to surgeries. Since 2016, there have been 243 gender reassignment surgeries performed on military personnel in military facilities. Surgeries included hysterectomies, breast and testicle removal, and labiaplasty. Between January 1st, 2016 and December 31st, 2017, 50 surgeries were performed. 193 happened from January 1st, 2018 to December 31st, 2019. All of this, of course, is absolutely going to strengthen America's military presence in the world. You might notice that the number of surgeries and trans individuals in the military quadrupled from 2016 to 2019. We are incentivizing gender-confused individuals to join the military to get their transition gender-affirming care for free. The screening process for recruitment should account for whether someone is receiving psychotherapy or have received psychotherapy in the past. Surgery cost at least $100,000 and are not covered by insurance. This must be outlawed. Anyone seeking to join the military to treat a pre-existing condition should not be permitted to join for a medical benefit. A stipulation regarding the exclusion of gender-affirming care and abortion cannot be provided by taxpayer funding. Anyone on hormone therapy must be excluded or drummed out. It causes serious violent tendencies in men and women. Trans male to female are 6 times more likely to commit violent and or sexual crimes. Defense spending accounts for 12% of all federal spending and nearly half of the discretionary spending. Total discretionary spending for both defense and non-defense purposes is typically only about 1/3 of the annual federal budget. Our military is the one branch we cannot experiment with. It must remain strong and powerful and a strong deterrent to any nation trying to do us harm. Stay with us through this commercial break. We will discuss this in details when we get back.
The story of America is one of people who have made their dreams come true by realizing that the time for action is always now.
America, as we know it, is being transformed before our very eyes. Western civilization and the values it was founded upon are under attack from enemies both abroad and from within. Unvetted immigration is rampant. The flag is considered a hate symbol on college campuses. Traditional family values are attacked, and Antifa terrorists and more are gaining a foothold in communities across America. Is our nation at the crossroads of irreversible consequences, or is there still time to rise? Rise and defend the heart and soul of this nation. Rise and fight for freedom of speech and democracy, and for the Judeo-Christian values and freedoms this great nation was founded upon. From Brigitte Gabrielle, leading terrorism expert and New York Times best-selling author of Because They Hate and They Must Be Stopped, comes Rise, in defense of Judeo-Christian values and freedom. In her most explosive book to date, she takes you from Europe to the Middle East, from Washington, D.C. to Israel, revealing explosive information that every American needs to hear. Sean Hannity writes, If you're a concerned American who wants to know the truth, you need to read this book. Judge Janine Pirro says, Rise is a must-read for every American. Dinesh D'Souza, Rise is a searing truth-telling expose. And finally, Michelle Melkin, heed her warnings, follow her lead. Understand why this matters for your family and your personal freedom, and learn what you can do to fight the forces that aim to undermine our great nation. A nation which defeated the mighty British to gain the independence that helped defeat Hitler, that beat the menacing Soviet Union, put a man on the moon, and changed the world forever. Don't sit back and watch the greatest country the world has ever known slowly fade away. Become an instrument of change with Rise, in defense of the Judeo-Christian values and freedom. You never really own freedom. You only preserve it for the next generation. Get your copy and Rise. Available where fine books are sold.
So, Brigitte, can they possibly do a better job of destroying our country and weakening our military with these new policies?
That's exactly what's happening. We are literally destroying the country, while China and North Korea and Iran and any of these bad acting nations, when you watch their commercials are filled with men fighting to protect the nation, men coming to the military to become their full potential as men. When you watch their commercials, they are dripping with testosterone. You know, you are looking at like Rambos running to join the military. You watch our commercials and you see women, cartoon characters talking about how they were raised by two lesbian mothers and how they are trying to come into their full potential, fulfilling the diversity, equity, and inclusion quotas in the United States. I mean, you watch the two commercials side by side, Brent, and you think to yourself, we're losing. We lost. If we get into any war, we are going to lose our nation. And that's why transgenders right now are flocking into the military, because they want the surgeries for free. Like I mentioned in the opening, it costs $100,000 or more for these surgeries, and they are not covered by the insurance. So what better way to join the military, even for a few years, until you get your surgeries done, until you get the whole transition done, whatever you need to get done. And after 8 years, when it's all done and over, you just get out of the military and you pursue something else. So we have a segment of our society using our military and the benefits of our military for their own personal interest. In this case, an interest that the majority of Americans do not agree with. Look, if you want to have a transgender affirming surgery, by all means, it's your body. You can do whatever you want. But don't use my tax dollars that I am paying so I can live in a strong and safe nation with a strong military that will protect me and my family in case something happens. Don't squander that money weakening our military so you can have your own genital removal surgery paid for by me. I don't agree with that. I'm sure the majority of our watchers right now, viewers, do not agree with that. And that's why we're talking about this issue. It is weakening our country.
We saw this starting during the Obama years, the Army of One, no longer about the team, no longer about the country, but what my country can do for me. It's amazing, Brigitte. How many people are offended by our flag? How many people are offended by the name of America, but they're not offended at all these freebie benefits at the taxpayer's expense? What can people do about this right now?
Exactly. And that's why we named the show News You Can Act On. And I urge people to join us. I launched an organization called Act for America. Not think about America, not hope for America, not pray for America, but act for America. Because we can wish and hope and pray for our country. And we all are doing that because we all recognize America is at a crossroad of irreversible consequences. We have to make a decision now to save our country. And I urge you to join us. Go to actforamerica.org right now. Sign up to get our emails and action alert. Stand with us as we fight for our country and we hold our elected officials' feet to the fire. Act for America is working in the halls of Congress Congress, with members of Congress at the highest level to make sure that all this nonsense is stopped in our military, to make sure that Congress gets involved in what's happening in our military. This is right now in the national interest of the United States. Everybody needs to be engaged. I encourage people to go to actforamerica.org and check out our Act Now campaigns. We are working on bills on the federal level as well as the state level. You want to see bills on the federal level, go to Act Now National and check out all our bills that we are working on. When we all come together and speak up together, we can make a difference. And by the way, Brent, the majority of Americans believe the same way. Don't let the squeaky, crazy, transgender, rainbow clouds, whatever it is, when you hear them yelling and screaming, you would think the whole country is like that. It's not true. We are the majority. When you drive out of any city USA, drive 10 miles out of any city USA, and 90% of America looks the same. We all love God. We all love our families. We all love our military. We all honor our veterans. We all stand with our police. Most of America is the same. We do not want the brainwashing happening in schools for our children. I don't want you to tell my 5-year-old daughter that she's a boy, she's not a girl, or my 5-year-old boy that he's a girl, he's not a boy. And then tell them we can give you hormone therapy, and you don't even have to tell your parents if they don't agree with it. This is not the country we want to live in. And that's why we at Act for America named the organization Act for America, because it's not enough to listen to the news anymore. It's not enough to read stories on the internet. It's not enough to complain to our neighbor what's happening in the country. We are also frustrated. We are here because we are mobilizing citizens to impact policy. And I'm proud to tell you that we have helped pass 192 bills to date on the federal level and the state level to protect the country. And right now, we are working with members of Congress to stop the military from paying for all these transgender surgeries, for all these affirming care, for the transitioning, whether adding people on testosterone, whether we're giving people hormone therapy to change their gender. That's not the responsibility of our military. Our military is designed to protect the country. Our military is designed to create killers. Yes, I said it, killers. Fighters who are willing to fight to kill our enemies. Our military is not created for equity, inclusion, diversity, blah, 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 blah. Our military is created to fight as one group of Americans to protect the country, not to be used as a political tool against one group or another, not to use as a political tool to score points with one party or another. Our military is not an experiment we can play with. Our military is there to protect the country. And that's why, if this message resonates with you, go to actforamerica.org right now and join us. Whether you were a Democrat, a Libertarian, a Republican, like you said, Brent, the Democratic Party of the Kennedy years right now is classified as a Republican, because right now we have the extreme left who's trying to transform the country, and we have the rest of us. The rest of us are the people who all agree that we want to preserve America, that our Constitution has served us well in the last 300 years plus, that America is a great nation to live and work and raise a family, better than 99% of the rest of the world. Those of us who believe in the old-fashioned way of living are trying to preserve the country, and it is our fight between us and the radical left. Notice I didn't say the Democrats. Right. I said the radical left, because the Democrats of Kennedy can no longer recognize their own party right now. They can no longer recognize their own party.
You know, Brigitte, you gave a description of what the military should be. Fighting as one to protect the country. You know, when you go to actforamerica.org, folks, you're seeing that. Amazing things have been done. 192 bills passed as of the recording of the show. Simply amazing, Brigitte, what Act for America and you have accomplished. And folks, what you have accomplished too, when you stand with us. And the description, you talked about the military, standing as one to protect the country. That's what you've done, Brigitte. You brought Americans together. I mean, if you ask me, you know, so many Democrats are saying, hey, This isn't the party that my grandfather encouraged me to vote for, or this isn't what we signed up for. Many of you are realizing it's not even what you voted for in the last election. Actions speak louder than words. The actions of the left speak plenty, but the actions of you in Act for America, Brigitte, speak a whole lot. You are bringing people together as one to fight for the country. And while we've talked about the amazing 192 bills passed with the help of Act for America and all the actions taken, 414,178 dedicated activists have joined the cause, folks. It pays to be on the winning team. And Act for America, if you ask me, Brigitte, some would say ACT should be its own party. Join the ACT party. But in the meantime, folks, we got to come together, just like Brigitte said, and together as one to defend our country.
Exactly. We are one. And when you talk about Act for America, we are a rainbow of colors. Look, I'm a Middle Eastern woman with a tanned skin whose mother tongue is the Arabic language, but I came to America because I believe America is the best nation in the world to raise a family, to prosper, to grow, to be free. I want to preserve that America that I immigrated to. And when you talk about the membership of Act for America, we are blacks, we are white, we are Hispanics, we are Asians, we are people from all backgrounds who came together and put our differences aside and came together as one because we love America. Of course, we all are not going to agree on every single issue 100%. But you know what? We agree on 99.9% of the issues, and we agree on the most important thing. America is the place where you can be all you can be. You can be a free individual, express your opinion, and know that the police is not going to come in the middle of the night and arrest you and take you to some prison where you're never going to be seen again. That America we want to preserve, and that America is being stolen from us right now. Speaking about the police showing up in the middle of the night, knocking on doors, throwing people in jail without due process. Look, January 6 prisoners, there are many of them who are still in jail who have never had their day in court. Is this the country we want to live in? I mean, we need to ask ourselves, and I don't care what party you belong to. I don't care whether you are on the right or on the left. In America, you are innocent until proven guilty. You're not guilty and thrown in jail and isolation until you're proven innocent. This is not the America we want to live in. And I'm sure if you're watching me right now, whether you are black, whether you are white, whether you are Hispanic, whether you are Asian, whether you are Middle Eastern, no matter what you are, we all came to this country escaping our corrupt countries because our corrupt countries are corrupt. We have leaders who will show up in the middle of the night if you say one bad word about them. At least in America today, we can still say bad things and criticize our leaders and hold our leaders' feet to the fire. And at least know that we're not going to have Gestapo showing up in the middle of the night and throwing us in jail. We need to wake up right now. We need to organize right now. We need to come together right now. And we are. And you know what? When you see Act for America meetings where our people are from all backgrounds, all genders, people coming together, loving America, loving our founding fathers, loving our law and order, loving our police, loving our veterans, loving our country. We want to stand up for our country. We all work, whether we work jobs, whether we own our own business. America is a place where you can make a living better than 99% of the world. Despite all our economic troubles, despite all our shortcomings, this is still the greatest place to live and work in the world. Still, till today. We want to make sure we preserve it that way. And we do that when we all come together, all of us come together and work together to preserve America. America is our country. It's not the country and the property of our elected officials. Most of them are corrupt, lining their own pocket. America is the country that belongs to you and to me and to anybody sitting next to you right now watching me in your family room, to your children, to our grandchildren. America belongs to us. Not to the corrupt leaders, not to any leader who's going to sell our national interest to the highest bidder from any other nation. America belongs to us, and we're going to make sure we keep it that way.
You know, Brigitte, it was 14 years ago I was doing correspondent work for you and for Act for America, and
That's
different
right.
parts of the country, different people who voted different ways, but they
That's
all
right.
had one thing in common. They loved America. And now on a wide scale, we've got to come and we've got to meet in the middle. It's time,
That's right.
folks, regardless of your voting background. If there's not a free country, most of those disagreements go away automatically under tyrannical rule. That's why
That's
it's
right.
time to join Act for America, join the cause today, stand with us today. And on top of that, folks, while we're still a free country, or while we still have the freedom of speech, you also still have the freedom to tax deduct what you do when you stand with Act for America. Don't you know, folks, that for less than what you spend on a DoorDash today or a drive-through today with the cost of inflation and such, you can make an eternal difference in the lives of your children and your children's children. And folks, Act for America has proven it's not going anywhere. It's only getting stronger, and it's getting stronger with you as we come together and we meet in the middle for the
Right.
sake of our country today.
Exactly. That's right. When we all come together, America was founded with the motto, out of many, we became one. Today, this motto is turned upside down. Now we are trying to make out of the one, many, many different fractions. This is not what we want. We want the diversity, but not the diversity they're talking about today. Our diversity and our beauty is we brought all our differences and the beautiful things from our cultures and our backgrounds, and we put it into one melting pot that made America the beautiful mosaic that it is, made up of many people from different cultures who brought the best out of their cultures and brought it to America. Look, in my home, I still roll up grape leaves, make baklava, cook Middle Eastern food, belly dance, listen to Arabic music. Oh my goodness, my kids, I start playing, Arabic music and they think, oh my gosh, time to clean the house. They know what that means. They hide. They know mama plays that music. That means time to work, clean up the house. So we can bring together the beauty of the cultures we came from and preserve that beauty. We're not saying get rid of it, but we all brought it together so we can live in America and we can melt it into one. America is the only place where you can drive down Main Street and you can buy Mexican food and you can buy Italian food and you can eat sushi and you can eat hamburgers and you have the whole world cuisine in one street. Every night of the week, you can eat a different cuisine. That's the beauty. Out of many of us, out of many, we became one. That's how we want to keep it. And that's why we're urging you to join us. Start a chapter. We have chapters nationwide. Start a chapter. Start a group in your community. If you don't have one, join a group in your community. If you already have a group already up and going, register it with us. We want to share with you our resources and all the things that we learned and the programming that we have and the videos that we have, so you can be stronger as a group in your own community. We believe a rising tide lifts all boats. And right now, it's time for all patriotic Americans, whatever group you belong to come together and work together and act together for America. Are you tired of going to meetings, hearing great speakers, going to conferences, getting all excited, and a week later still asking, what can I do? I'm educated beyond my ears, but I have no idea what to do. If that's you, join us. Go to actforamerica.org and become a member. We named the organization Act for America. Not think about America, hope for America, pray for America, but act for America. Because you can think and hope and pray, and you should, but without action, nothing happens. We are organizing the nation one community at a time. We helped pass 192 bills on the federal and the state level through patriots just like you to preserve our freedom and protect our communities. We are the largest grassroots movement who is getting things done, not just complaining about the problem, but actually fixing it. Go right now to actforamerica.org and join us. Become a member. Talking and hearing speakers is entertainment. Action is how we are going to win back our country. So go to actforamerica.org and become a member today.
Well, folks, no one's coming for you. No one's coming to save you.
That's right.
It's up to you now. And I think a lot of you are realizing that. No matter how you voted, folks, I don't know anyone who says, hey, this is exactly what I voted for. It's hard for me to personally find anybody on the street, no matter how they voted, to be happy about what's happening. It's very, very obvious that the interest of our enemies comes ahead of the interest of the people of America. That's why it's time to come together. A lot of you have a renewed passion in recent movies that have come out. You've been aware of these blatant agendas to destroy the family unit. Well, what do you do with that energy? Here's what you do with that passion and with that energy. You do more than post a meme. You put that passion to work with Act for America. It's tangible, it's real, from your phone, from your laptop, even from your Roku television, folks. You go to actforamerica.org. You can join the cause. You can be informed, be in the know with our action alerts. And also, you can stand with us as a member at actforamerica.org today.
Exactly, Brand. And look, when you are watching us right now, we're talking about all this money in the military being spent on transgender surgeries and hormones. This is at the same time we are running out of bullets. We are running out of bombs. We have lost 10 times the last 10 years, every simulation military exercise we have done with any other nation. Is this the country you want to live in? Do you want your tax dollars? You're paying taxes anyway. Whether you have a job, it's being taken out of your paycheck. Whether you own your own business, you're paying your own fair share to the government, to the IRS. That money goes to fund our military. Now, if you know that your money is going for hormone therapy to the military, instead of replenishing our bullets, our guns, our bombs, whatever training the military needs. So where do you want your money to be spent? You're paying this money anyway. I am sure if you're watching me right now, you would agree that we want our military to be strong, to be powerful, to be a deterrent to any nation or anybody who even thinks about attacking America or trying to weaken America or trying to take over America or trying to take away jobs from America. We want our military strong and powerful. It's a deterrent to bad actors across the globe. When America is weak, bad actors across the globe rise. And we don't want that. If America is jeopardized, the whole world is jeopardized. And the only thing we have, peace through strength. Ronald Reagan always said that. That's exactly where we want to be. America enjoyed peace for the longest time after World War II because of the strong military that we have had. We want to make sure we keep it that way. And that's why we need you engaged. We need you involved. Join us as a member. Go to actforamerica.org right now. Sign up to get our emails and action alerts. Become a member. Share our emails and action alerts with your friends, with your family, with your relatives. I know you're sending funny memes. I know you're sending funny jokes. Come on. You and I know that you do that, okay? So we know you're sending that stuff anyway. We need you also to be engaged and getting every patriot you know engaged to defend the country.
Another fantastic news you can act on with Brigitte Gabrielle. Thank you again, Brigitte.
Thank you, Brand, and God bless you, and God bless the United States.